Welcome to another YouTube Live with me, Lee Everett, estate agent in Essex. I've been doing this for nearly 18 years in September this year. So welcome to the channel. We've done a few of these lives over the last week, 10 days. Seems to get a pretty good response from you guys. So hopefully this one will be just as good. I've tried to do a bit of advertising this time, so a few of you know actually when we are going live. But yeah, if we haven't met, my name's Lee Everett. Dealt with thousands and thousands of property transactions over the last nearly 18 years. So on this channel, we offer tips, advice, news on the housing market, buying and selling. So if you do have any questions, please pop them in the comments section. We'll bring them up on the screen so other people can see them. Hopefully your question might actually help somebody else as well. So the last stream ended rather abruptly because the baby cried, but the other half is in the other room on baby watch with a baby monitor. The cat's out of the room as well. You've got my undivided attention for around an hour. If nobody asks any questions and it goes rather quiet, then then it will be less than an hour. But this is a bit like a first date. So unless there's questions, a bit of conversation, this is going to be rather awkward and rather slow. So please, for my sanity and for the YouTube metric, I need that watch time to get up to 4 hours so I can start earning £3 a month from YouTube. So any questions you do have, please pop it in the comment section and we'll see if we can help a few of you out. So we've got 3 people viewing at the moment, so please say hello. Also, if you could like the video as you're watching it, it just tells YouTube that you like what I'm saying. Even if you don't, just like it. It does me a massive favour. So yes, no questions yet, and this is just a massive filler. Hello, Jay Lyons, how you doing? £3 a month, yeah. I don't know how much views I need to earn anything. I haven't got any expectations on replacing my job with YouTube anytime soon, but my brother's got a YouTube channel and he has like 6,000 subscribers and thousands of views, and judging from what he earns from that and the amount of views I get, I don't think it'll be much more than £3 a month. But that's not what we're here for. We're not here to earn any money. We're here to help people and talk of the devil. Here he is out investing with Dean. Great channel, does stock market, sold him a house last year as well, his first buy to let. So check his channel out if you're interested in buy to let. He's going to go through his journey, how much it's cost him, how much money he hopes to make, I reckon. Yeah, so he can help you with that sort of stuff. You know, so, hello, Money, Whiskey and Coffee. Welcome back, my friend. Palantir stock is so you can buy 2 of them. I'm all in APXT at the moment. APXT, as Dean will tell you, $10 a stock. So I could buy 3 of those, or 3 and a bit, 3.5. That will hopefully get me a few quid, especially if they merge, right, Dean? Especially if they merge. So thanks for popping in, say hello. Remember to like the video if you have. That would be great. Hopefully that might get in front of a few more people. We've got 4 at the moment, so thank you very much. Palantir, exciting long-term company. I don't know nothing about that. I'll just follow you, Dean. If you say Palantir is decent, then I'll believe you. But I'll put a bit of money into APXT at the moment. He's Mr. APXT. I think half of his videos must be on it. He's really trying to pump that stock up high. So we'll start off this video or this live stream with a bit of an update on what's going on in the property market. I know a lot of people have been struggling to find somewhere, not just first-time buyers, people that are selling their house or have sold their house are also struggling to find property, and I think that's causing a lot of change not to be complete or taking ages to actually complete. And that really hasn't changed that much in the last, when did I do my last video? Last 6 weeks, I think it was. 6 weeks ago, I'd done a property market update, and there was a severe lack of properties on the market. And unfortunately, that has got a lot worse. It's got a lot worse. I think at the time of recording that video 6 weeks ago, we had 50 houses available, and we're now 6 weeks on, and we've only got, I think, 25 or 26 houses available. So anything we're taking on is just going like that. So I think one bungalow I took on the market on Saturday, that's had 18 viewings by Wednesday afternoon and 3 offers. So it's it's a crazy time at the moment. This is a property channel. This ain't about investing or cryptocurrencies or anything like that. So if you want that, go and subscribe to his channel. Go and subscribe to his one. His one. Right, Jay Lyons. View the property today. I'm just thrown by the state of them, the price they're expecting. Yeah, we took on a flat today in my part of Essex. 100 grand, so to somebody that'd be cheap, somebody to you that won't be, and it needs so much work. Kitchen, bathroom, flooring. I think there's flies in there, must be maggots. There was a used condom on the floor. Yeah, not such a glamorous job this actually, is it? Not such a glamorous job. But yeah, they're asking £100,000 for it, and even in a done up condition with an extended lease, it's only going to be worth £125,000. So if somebody's going to buy that and look to flip it, it's already too much money. And we've had an offer just short of the asking price this afternoon as well. So yeah, prices are absolutely crazy. Conditions are worse. And I don't know whether that's estate agents just telling vendors, oh, don't worry about doing the place up. Don't worry about tidying up. Don't worry about that sort of stuff. Just to stick it on the market and you'll get sold. But I know when I go around a house like I did today, I literally told the seller that I'm not going to come around and take photographs until you've cleared up, you've cleared your surfaces, you've wiped down all the sticky floors, got rid of the smell of smoke, because even if you're a smoker, you don't want to go in and smell smoke. And just generally help me help you by trying to actually sell your property. Don't just rely on a buoyant market. If you want top money, you still need to present your property in such a way that's going to generate those top offers. But some agents, I think, are just valuing high, get on the market and hope they sell it. If not, try and get a price reduction. But that's not how I work. Maybe that's why I don't take on as many houses as some of the competitors, but at least I'm honest and yeah, give some genuine advice, which is what we try and do here as well. I'll do some research. Okay. Right, Dean, I saw a 3-bed semi on the market for 180 local, looks okay condition with tenants in situ. All depends if the tenants are any good, Dean. If they're not very good, is that the reason why the seller is selling the property? As you know, the government have been making it more and more difficult for buy-to-let landlords who need a mortgage make money. So you might have a landlord which has got to the end of the tether and decided to sell with tenant in situ. As long as they're a decent tenant, got a deposit paid and good history, then that doesn't sound like a bad buy, depending on the rent. If you work out the rent, we can then work out the yield and whether the mortgage company would see that as a good investment or not. So if you know the rent, let me know, Dean. Let me know. Money, whiskey and coffee. They were asking 110 for the flat opposite mine that had a 90-year left on the lease. What the fuck? I mean, you're Colchester way, if I remember rightly, aren't you? So you're not too far away from me. That, I mean, 90 years is low, but it's not low in the same breath. 85, you're now starting to have cover a little bit of a problem with some lenders. Some lenders are saying 85 is the lowest they want to go. So in 5 years' time, that could be a problem in selling without renewing the lease. So is that a one-bedroom flat, Money? Is that a one-bedroom flat? I imagine your way it probably is. Probably is. Donnie Smith, welcome to the channel. Thank you for popping in and saying hello. Please give the video a like if you haven't already done so. That'd be fantastic. And your question, can you get a normal mortgage and then decide you want to let the property? How does that work? Right, so if that's something which you would like to do, first and foremost, that can't be known at the time of really getting your residential mortgage. So if your plan is to buy that property to immediately rent it out, then I doubt they'll allow that. But the general process would go, you'd get your residential mortgage, complete on that. And then if you had a change of circumstances, 6 months, 12 months, 2 years' time, you could apply to your lender for permission to rent your property out, and they will switch your mortgage into a buy-to-let mortgage. But you do have to ask for lender's permission to do that, and there may be a different product they offer you, different price that you have to pay each month. But it is possible, but I wouldn't recommend buying a property on a residential mortgage and then immediately saying, oh, I need to rent the property out, can I do that? I think that would look a little bit suspicious, and they could say no, and then yeah, if your main intention is to do a buy to let, then try and save up that 20%, 25% and go that way. That way, then you're not going to have any issues if you do decide to rent it. Hope that helps. If it has, give it a thumbs up. Really appreciate it. Thank you. I'm going to throw on a low off, but I'm expected to be fine. But yeah, there's no harm in asking. No harm in asking. You don't ask, you don't get. Little saying that I have quite a lot in this business. All they can do is say no, and it's not where you start with your offer, it's where you finish. If you're on your own in offering, as in there's no other competition, then yeah, going in low is the right way to go. Not offensive, but sort of low. 10% is generally classed as a good starting point. But yeah, you don't want to be offering too low if there's other people interested. Sometimes it's better to go in at your best offer straight away and say, look, Mr. Seller, I'm not trying to mess around here. Here's the max I'm willing to pay for it. I hope you appreciate I'm not trying to haggle too much with you and just see how you get on there. But if there's nobody else interested, and the agent will probably tell you if there's interest, then yeah, start off low and then you can see what happens and play the game of tennis, go back and forth and see if you can find a happy middle ground that you find. I'll do another one on Friday that has tenants and I don't want to start the notice process to exchange. That could be 4 months after the sales goes. Right, so the notice period at the moment is 6 months. So because of COVID, 6 months is the current limit. Whether by the time we get to exchanging contracts that changes to 4 months, I don't know what the government have planned for that. But at the moment, 6 months is the tenancy agreement and the notice period. And then if they don't move, you've then got to wait for a court date. And then after the court date, you've got to wait for the bailiffs to come. So you might find your mortgage offer might expire by then. And your solicitor, I should have said this first actually, your solicitor won't let you exchange contracts until that property is empty because you haven't got a buy-to-let mortgage and there's no guarantee those tenants are going to move out by completion. So yeah, should have led with that. Your solicitor won't let you exchange contracts until that property is vacant and empty. So I hope that I wouldn't view it, mate. I really wouldn't view it. So much hassle, so much hassle. Unless you're a buy-to-let investor, like Donny is, looking for one in London. London, I think the deposit you're going to need for a buy-to-let investment, you could probably buy a flat where I am outright, a low lease flat, but yeah, but they do say if invest in the area you know, and that'll always be where you live. You know the type of tenants, the type of prices, the work when you're going to need all women to get sort of work done. But yeah, I don't know how anybody affords to buy in London at all. Yeah, maybe you can branch out, maybe Romford way. Do you know Romford, Dagenham? Is it a bit cheaper there? I'm guessing. If you want to buy in Essex, Clacton, then I'm your guy. I'll find you a good one. So 110 for a one-bedroom flat money. Yeah. If other ones are selling for that sort of money, then yeah, it's difficult to argue against it. I mean, we're selling some stuff that we wouldn't think in a million years we would sell them for. I mean, some of the properties I've valued one today. They bought it last year at 220, and I valued it today at 270 grand. It's a lot of money increase, and they've done a little bit of work, but not that amount. But there's nothing else around to say it's worth any less. Everything is selling at that price or above. So it's yeah, it's crazy times. You're welcome, Donna. You're welcome. That's what I'm here for. It's what I love to do. It doesn't pay the mortgage yet, but this is what I love to do. I love to help you guys buy and sell property. It dropped to 6 hours. Okay, well that's better. But there is 4 to 6 month waiting time for court dates at the moment as well. So factor that in. But yeah, again, your solicitor's not going to let you exchange contracts until that tenant is moved out. If it's going to be 4 months after you exchange, your mortgage offer has got to last that long. And then after that, you've got to hope the tenant moves out, which they may find it hard to find somewhere to move to, which then they're not going to move out, are they? And then you're lumbered with even longer delays at a completion date. So yeah, my advice would steer clear. I know there's not a lot on the market, and I know it's tough to see a house that you may want to view or buy and the compromise is waiting for a tenant to move out. But unless that tenant is out, I personally wouldn't view it. There's just so many things can go wrong in a housing transaction anyway. Why would you want to add to that complication and the confusion of it all? It's going to be, yeah. Unless you get a buy-to-let mortgage, of course. If you're going to do that, then by all means. But if it's for yourself, JE, then yeah, I really wouldn't want to advise going for it. And stuff will come on the market. There will be more properties coming available, and I think some people may just have to be patient. As crap as that sounds, you've been patient saving up your deposit for months and months and years. We go through these shortages, maybe not as bad as this, but there's always either a degree of lack of stock or a lack of sales, and it just sort of yo-yos and goes up and down. But there will be more properties that come available, and there's more mortgages becoming available as well. So as time goes on, you might find that your affordability might be a bit better. Interest rates seem to be coming down on mortgages most months. So if whatever mortgage you've got agreed in principle now, it might be worth speaking to your broker just to see if there's any other deals that are on the market or any other lenders that are offering a better wage multiplier, like Nationwide, for example. Spoken about that, excuse the bit. Spoken about the Nationwide Helping Hand mortgage a few times, where they will lend 5.5 times your wages if you are on £30,000 as a single applicant or £50,000. But you know that, I think you reminded me on the last video, Jay, didn't you, that I was going to do an update on the interest rates, which I have done. I've done that now. But yeah, there are going to be more and more mortgage options. Banks seem to be getting a little bit better at throwing their money at buyers. So hopefully there'll be a few more competitive mortgage rates and maybe a few more 5.5 time income multipliers coming up. So any more questions from you guys? Any more questions? Self-invested, cracking channel. He puts so much more effort into his videos than me. And he's asking a question I don't know much about, to be honest with you. So have I sold many shared ownership homes? How difficult does it tend to be? I've not sold one shared ownership home. I mean, you could argue that any of the Help to Buys, there's a third party owner, i.e. the government or Target, who are a part owner or someone put a charge on a property. But yeah, I've not dealt with many direct transactions with the shared ownership homes. I do know that the transaction tends to take longer. We've been involved in a chain with one, and that took a little bit longer. There's a lot more paperwork to do, a lot more bits and pieces, which I am not too up to date with. But you're the man for that. Great channel. I wish I had time to watch more of your stuff, mate, to be honest with you. You put so much effort and so much sort of time into your videos. I wish I had the patience to do what you can do. And well done, doing really well, mate, really well. Yeah, look at that. Even Money, Whiskey and Coffee. Self-Invest is a great channel. See, you've got fans here as well as your own, mate. Yeah, I suggested to Self-Invest that they should do a live stream, and I think it went really well. I watched about 10-15 minutes of it in between appointments today, Lamar, and yeah, really enjoyed it. I should have entered your giveaway for the £25 Amazon voucher. My viewers don't expect anything like that anytime soon. But now, if you're interested in shared ownership, stuff like that, that guy's the one to speak to. Yeah, so we'll go back to the property market. Yeah, still a severe shortage, still not a lot coming on the market. In fact, I think it's worse than what it was 5-6 weeks ago. And that has continued to keep those property prices going up. And I don't know at what point we're going to get to that ceiling limit where wages just can't match what sellers are asking. So hopefully at some point they either stop going up, going up like that, and they sort of more like a flatter trajectory. Dancing, doing shapes. Yeah. I'm bringing me on. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind, mate. I wouldn't mind at all. I think I'd enjoy that. I'd enjoy that a lot. I think you've done a couple of interviews on your one, haven't you? So yeah, just we can sort out a time. We can certainly do that. Yeah. So until more comes on the market, there's going to be massive demand for the same property. You're going to end up paying top money for it. You're not going to get much off. And I wish I could do something to help you guys. I wish I could, I don't know, just click my fingers or have a magic ball that would say, oh, by the end of the year, if you wait and save more deposit, there's going to be more available and prices are going to be better. But we just don't know. And anybody that tells you anything different is lying. They don't know. No one knows what's going to happen. No one is up to date or sort of that foresight to see what's going to happen with the property market. You can make a prediction. You may be right, you might be wrong. Same as the stock market. It goes up and down, but it generally always seems to go up. And that's probably why a lot of people are wanting to buy now rather than waiting. That fear of missing out, that fear of buying later and having to pay more and then missing out on getting that extra equity by buying at a cheaper price. So I can see where a lot of it comes from. Thanks for the question, Money. You can tell I was sort of stalling for some questions to come through. I needed someone to jump in and save me. I was drowning slowly there. Is it cheaper to buy land and build a house by hiring contractors yourself? Generally, yeah. Generally, if you can build your own house, you will save money within reason. I think it's a Channel 4 program, Building the Dream, and a lot of these people are building not massive houses, sort of modest houses, and they're saving around 20% off the market value of the house by buying it themselves. But you've got to source the land, you've got to fund the purchase of the land, and then you've got to have the finances in place or a finance structure with a mortgage company that will lend you money at each stage of the build. But yeah, I think buying land and building your own is going to save you money, but there's a shortage for land, especially land with you're able to get planning permission on, and that will be a difficult bit. I mean, hiring contractors yourself, you want to go for somebody that is known for building houses. I'm sure you probably know someone, a builder, who can recommend a house building contractor. But yeah, I would love to build my own house. I watch these grand designs and Building the Dream, and would love to be able to build my own house, but I wouldn't know where to start. I wouldn't be able to dig a hole or anything like that. So I'd probably end up spending more money paying somebody else to do it all. So I think I know an estate agent in Clacton that might be able to source the land. Okay, it's not me, is it? It's not me. Don't get much land. In fact, I've got a house coming up on the market with a garden that you might be able to get 3 houses on. You might be able to get fresh. There's no planning permission, so you have to be taking a punt on that to see if you could get the planning permission. You could do an options agreement, so that might be something which you may want to do with the land. So with an options agreement, what you do is you put an offer in on the property, and the owner and you sign an agreement that if you apply for planning permission and the planning permission is passed, you have the first dibs on offering on that property and buying that property up until a certain date. So that way you can spend the money getting the planning permission, drawing up the plans, knowing that the seller can't just go and sell it to somebody else without you being reimbursed. So an options agreement is something to look out for if you are buying a piece of land with no planning permission, and that gives you the opportunity to pull out if planning permission isn't granted. So yeah, options agreement. Google it. They're good. They're good option agreements. Who is the agent in Clacton, by the way? I might know them. Who is it? Let me know. Let me know if they're dodgy or not. They're probably not. There's very few dodgy estate agents, as well. There's always a minority that gives the rest a bad name. Would the land be in Colchester or in Clacton or somewhere in between, Money? Where would it be? Me. He's definitely dodgy. He's definitely dodgy then. No, I mean, I've got to say, I've got one bit of land coming up on Tuesday, but that will be, you've got to buy the house as well. I think it's coming up 330 grand. You get a 3-bedroom semi-house with a big garden, and then an L-shaped piece of land which you could potentially build 3 mid-terrace houses on. I'm sure that's what a builder will do to maximise the profit. But you could build a modest 3-bedroom house, 4-bedroom house down there, subject to planning. Subject to planning. So we have 6 people watching, 5 likes. So somebody hasn't liked it. So if that is you, feel guilty and do that right now. That'd be fantastic. Any more questions, guys? Any more questions? Because as I said at the beginning, if I have no questions, it's like an awkward first date where there's not a lot of talking or just silences. Nobody likes that, do they? And I've got to get my watch time up. I need to get 4,000 hours of watch time on YouTube so I can get that £3 a month to help support the channel and pay my mortgage. Because every £3 I earn is £3 I haven't got to earn at work. What else we got here? Thing is, I've done a lot of advertising for this today. I put a lot of effort, well, not a lot of effort. Somebody told me how to make a Instagram story, just Instagram story. And first one I've ever done to advertise this, countdown, hashtags, all that sort of stuff. And this is one of my lowest viewing videos. Is it because I'm earlier than usual? Normally it's like 9:30, 10. Maybe it's the time. Maybe it's the time. Or maybe I should just literally structure these live streams a bit more, actually have something to talk about and try to fill the time with something else rather than just rabbiting on like I am now. But if there is a better time, if you're watching on the replay, if you've made it 27 minutes into the video and there's a better time of the day which is better for you to watch, then if I get enough people, then I might be able to make them a bit later rather than 8:30. But 8:30 works for me and my partner and the baby who's just up there asleep. Got to take on some refreshments. Saw an article the other day actually. Oh, hang on. Stefan Bowers, welcome to the channel. Don't recognise your name, so please subscribe. If it's your first time here, hit the bell as well. Give the video a thumbs up. Your question, first time buyer here. My tenancy ends the 10th of September and would like to complete by then. How long is sales process currently taking? And do you think it's too early to start looking now? Definitely not too early. So what we're looking at, 4 months. Average sale is taking around 14 weeks on average. So when your house sale gets agreed, purchase gets agreed, you're looking at around 14 weeks before you're either exchanging or picking up the keys. But one piece of advice I would say, Stefan, is to don't hand your notice in until you've exchanged contracts. So many tenants who are buying through me or are involved in the chain, we hear that they've handed their notice in before they've exchanged contracts or before even speaking to their solicitor. So I would say looking to buy now is perfect for a September completion time. You've got a few weeks to find somewhere and then you've got that sort of time to take to actually purchase it. And remember, if the property you're buying isn't empty, chances are that seller will need to find somewhere. And if that one's not empty, they'll need to find somewhere until there's an end of chain property. So I don't think it's ever too early to start looking for a property because there's not a lot about. So you probably want to look sooner rather than later. But great question, great question. And I hope if there's somebody else who's in rented at the moment who's thinking about handing their notice in before speaking to their solicitor or exchanging contracts, then yeah, don't do it. Wait until you've got that far down the line. I mean, it may mean your rent and your mortgage overlaps slightly, but I'm sure you'd much rather that for a month paying an extra £200-300 rather than having the stress of being homeless. Buying a house is stressful enough, so I'm sure you're gonna find, Stefan. I'm sure you're gonna find. But that's what this channel's for. Questions just like that. So we want to help as many people as we can buy and sell properties, and it's mainly going to be first-time buyers because let's face it, you're a first-time buyer. You've not done this before. There's no one person you can really go to apart from friends and family, and they can only tell you about their experiences. They can't tell you about everything regarding the property market and the property transaction, which is something that I can hopefully do, unless it's about shared ownership, which I know nothing about. So Lamal, don't invite me on about shared ownership. But that great question. Whereabouts in the world are you looking, Stefan? Whereabouts in England are you, or Wales or Scotland? Let us know. Is there a lot on the market where you are? So a lot of people are struggling. A lot of people are struggling to find at the moment. And again, you sort of make sure you know the house that you're buying, if the seller is going to be vacating, whether they are able to move in with family, friends, or if they're going to be looking for somewhere. If they're going to be looking for somewhere, then the 14-week time to buy a property might be delayed, because they might take 2 or 3 weeks to start to find somewhere, and then they may not want to instruct their solicitor until they have found somewhere, and that could just cause like a domino effect of delays, especially if the rest of the chain decide to do that as well. Really shouldn't be drinking beer, but I'm off for 4 days now, so yeah, why not? Why not? Got to let your hair down. You know, that long hair. Got to let it down. Also need some ideas for videos you want me to do, guys, because yeah, it's difficult to come up with ideas all the time on what you guys need. So I'm really sort of fed by you and your questions. Any question you ask might help somebody else. So maybe I need to go through these comments actually and then do videos on individual questions. That's not a bad idea. It's not a bad idea. So 8 people watching. Thanks everyone who is sticking around. Please remember to give it a thumbs up. Lamo, you're still here, mate. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We'll chat when I start talking about buying a place. Yes, I got your back, mate. I got your back. I'll look after you. I'll look after you. Again, this is now one of those awkward times where there's no questions and I haven't really thought about anything I want to say. So please ask anything. If there's something you know about me, like how many houses I've sold, or what's my favourite type of house, anything like that. If you want to get to know Lee Everett, the person, rather than the estate agent, then I'm here for that too. I'm here to keep you as long as possible, so I get my watch time up. So there is an ulterior motive. Manchester. Okay. Let me know when Manchester currently, and when it comes to the market, it's gone within a few days. Yeah, that's the same throughout the whole country, Stefan, the whole country. I think the only thing you can do is try and be one of those people that get in there first. If you do have your, if you're finding it hard to find somewhere now, I can't see it getting any easier towards the end of the year. And the longer you leave it, the more likely you're going to need to go past that September deadline. But again, for you, it doesn't really matter if you've got to give 4 weeks notice or 1 month's notice. But if you want to be in before Christmas, you're going to, mentioning Christmas in May, for goodness sake. But if you want to be in before sort of Christmas, then you're going to be needing to find somewhere in the next few months. So get your mortgage agreed in principle. And if you do see something you like, go for it. Just go for it. You can always ask the chain, or always make sure from the start that you tell the agent and the seller that you'll be looking to complete early September as opposed to any time sooner, if that's a real time target that you're setting yourself to have. So yeah, if you're seeing houses and places now and it's in your budget, if they are so few and far between, just bite the bullet and do it. Stop paying somebody else's mortgage and start paying your own. Every month you're paying somebody else's mortgage, that could be going towards your equity and paying off the interest on a house that you own. Even if it's a property which isn't great for you long term, as soon as you're in that flat or that small house, every month you're paying your mortgage, your £700, £800, £900. You're knocking off £200, £300, £400 of your mortgage and building up equity each month. And that's all going to you rather than to somebody else. So it will certainly help. Maybe next year when you want to sell, you can then maybe buy something bigger as you build up equity. Even if prices go down, you've got a year's worth of mortgage payments building up. Your equity is going to go up. I mean, if prices dramatically drop, which I don't think they will do, but again, I don't know for definite, you're still going to be no worse off. And at least you're paying your equity rather than somebody else's mortgage. So yeah, good luck with it. Good luck with it. I mean, please share your story. keep popping up on these live streams, let other people know, because you're experiencing exactly what so many other people are. And I'm sure they would love to know that they're not alone in this. And I think your experience will help many other people as well, many other people. So thank you for sharing that. Thanks for sharing that. Lamar's back from Self Invested. If you just joined in, great channel, go and check him out. Really good chap, really good guy, does a lot of videos, very well in depth as well. Am I finding it harder to shift flats? No. Last year was probably yes, but this year, not really. If the lease is okay and the charges aren't too high, then we're absolutely fine. In my area, we don't have the cladding on the buildings and the sort of scandal that comes with those cladded flats and high-rise buildings. We have a lot of small purpose-built developments or Victorian houses that are converted into flats, but we don't tend to have that high-rise, which some people do have in more urban areas around the country. It's no, flats are going fine as always, providing the lease is okay, the ground rent isn't too high, and it's in a nice, well-maintained block. But good question, mate. Good question. MA, hi Lee. First time on the live here. Welcome. Live Virgin. Don't forget to press the like button. It tells YouTube that I'm doing all right. So yeah, thanks for that. But I've watched you for a while. Excellent. Do all new developments have management charges? Most do. Most do. My parents bought one 2 years ago. Where there is communal grounds, which a lot of these developers have had to do now, they can't overdevelop a piece of land. They have to leave some space. And that space, if it's not adopted by the local council, will need to be maintained. So the residents of that road will need to pay for the grass being cut. Sometimes, if it's not an adopted road, the lighting. I know, again, my parents' one, they've got almost like a reservoir outside their house, which is like an overflow. So if a local stream nearby overflows, that then goes into this sort of reservoir rather than flooding nearby homes, and they have to pay a management fee for that. It's only a couple of £100 a year, I think, but that is a key thing to look out for when you are buying a new build. Those hidden costs, which for some developments might not be much at all, but if there's a lot to maintain and a management company that has been picked to look after it will not take their cut of money as well, then yeah, you've just got to keep an eye on that. So the developer should tell you that from the beginning. Should do. Ever sold a house to a famous person, or ever sold a famous person a house? No, but I've shown Billy from EastEnders around the property. Yeah, that's my claim to fame. Also, if any of you watch Gogglebox, what's her name? Her son went into Big Brother, and I think he got arrested for beating up his girlfriend. I think that was him. But yeah, Gogglebox lady, I forget her name. We've had her house on the market. We've sold it, and one of her other properties as well. So that's my claim to fame, selling houses. My director met John Prescott when he was in the government for Labour, just before he got egged, I think. Just before he got egged. But yeah, that's as close to fame as I've got. Billy from EastEnders. He's a West Ham fan, and I didn't get along well with him. I think his parents lived down there, his grandparents. That's why he was nice. Attenuation pond. That's it. That's what's at my mum and dad's house to stop them flooding. How much that cost you a year to maintain? Not one of those no parking signs. But yeah, for new builds, there will be maintenance of the grounds, sometimes the roads as well. I mean, we sold a house on a 90s development, and there's a small £280 a year charge, but there's no communal grounds to look after. It's just something written in there that each owner has to pay £280 for, but no one's quite sure why and what it actually maintains, but people just have to pay it. Yeah, from somebody who's bought a new build themselves, it's not that much. That's all relative to some people. If yeah, a couple of grand to some people might not be a lot to others. This will me drink my beer. That's all right. Girlfriend cleared up. So, any other questions at all, guys? Any other questions? We've been going for 40 minutes, 41 minutes. 8 of you are still viewing, so I appreciate every one of you that has viewed. If you haven't, please, I know I keep saying it, and you're getting bored of the sound of my voice saying it, please hit that like button. Really appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed and you're not a regular viewer here, then please subscribe. That'd be great. Bethany Martin, sorry, no, you're fine. You're fine. We don't mind gate crashes. The more the merrier. The more the merrier. Hit the like button, Bethany. Hit that like button. Any questions? Please ask away. Say hello to everybody. I'm not too sure where they are on your phone or a computer. I have a couple, even though I just can't. That's fine. Yeah, fire away. Fire away. I'll come to you. Got a couple more things to go through, Bethany. But yeah, ask your question away. I'm not going anywhere. We've got another 20, 25 minutes before I'm going to wrap this up. Yeah, so MA, thank you. Trying to buy a place in Colchester and we're losing our minds. Yeah, so literally 10, 15 miles down the road from me. So I'd imagine that you there are finding the same problem that we're having in lack of stock. I've done a video on it, but check Rightmove, type in Colchester, your budget, added in the last 24 hours and search that 5, 6, 7 times a day. Don't rely on the emails coming in from Rightmove. Don't rely on the estate agent having to call you because they're either lazy at the moment or just too busy to be able to call people about houses. So grab the bull by the horn, grab your phone, grab your tablet, whatever it is, search Rightmove any possible moment, because some agents, like my agency, we don't upload our properties at 5 o'clock at night. As soon as they're typed and okayed and checked and ready to go, they're put on the market. So you might have 3 go on the market at 12 o'clock, 1 half an hour later. And if you're waiting till you finish work or waiting to get an email from Rightmove, then it can be too late sometimes. It can be too late. I've got to find that like you have got to find that like button. I don't know where it is on here. I should probably like the video myself, actually, shouldn't I? I should probably watch it. Lots of flats in Colchester, or are they all student accommodation? I imagine they're probably, they built a lot of flats near the university, didn't they? Built a lot of flats, I think. Then you might get, I'm not too quite sure on the council's policy of house of multiple occupation, HMOs, whether a lot of the investors have been converting bigger houses into roomlets to maximise their profit. But I'm sure there's a few over there. A lot of listed investors, aren't you? Yeah. So Bethany, the first question. So my partner and I would be looking to buy in a year or so time. Just wondering if we would get a good mortgage. He has 2 kids, has some debt, but I think about 6 years ago he got a CCJ. So I'm not a financial advisor, I have to say that by law, but when I bought this property, I had 2 kids, I had some debt. I didn't have any CCJs, but after 6 years, I think they come off anyway. So I don't think you have to worry too much about that. And the older the CCJs get, the less of an impact they have on your credit report. So you should notice, or your partner should notice each year that goes by that the credit score goes up, because that CCJ is getting older. And after 6 years, that will drop off completely, and there'll be no record of it that a mortgage company can do. But there's so many stories of first-time buyers with adverse credit, being on furlough, being in debt, getting mortgages right now. So it's certainly worth speaking to a broker sooner rather than later, because if the credit isn't great for one of you or both of you, then you might need to put a bit more of a deposit down. If you know that now, rather than waiting a year to be told that, then you could sort of double your efforts if you can to save more of a deposit. But I think speak to a broker now, explain your situation. They may even ask you to provide a copy of your credit report so they can look through, and then they'll be able to tell you which lenders would look at you and your partner now or in a year's time, and what sort of deposit you're going to need. And I think speak to a broker as soon as you start thinking of selling. Their first initial chat should be absolutely free. I've got a mortgage broker that I recommend. So if you do want to speak to one, email me at leeeverettpropertyadvice@gmail.com, or pop a comment below and I'll sort it out. For you. Yes, the like button. I have to turn the chat off to see the like button. We'll do it then. Do it. 12 likes, fantastic. You've all found it. You've all found it. Right, Kastan Hunter. I'm going to call you Hunter. Otherwise, I'm going to butcher your name each time. I've been a war bid the last 3 weeks, in the last 3 weeks ago, and I lost today. The agent called me and the property is available again, but found a new property. And at the moment, my sister just received draft contract. So, Hunter, are you asking whether you should switch and go back to the property you lost out on a few weeks ago? I think only you can answer that, my friend. I mean, the agent's done the right thing by calling you to let you know the property's back on the market, and if you're still interested in buying it. What property do you prefer? Do you prefer the one you're buying now, or do you think you'd be happier in the one that you lost out on? Only you can really answer that one. Maybe price has a role to play in this. Is the new property you're buying cheaper than what you offered? Could you renegotiate on the property that you had lost out on? Maybe revise your offer slightly. So I would be interested if the owner came down to this figure. Are you using a no sale, no fee solicitor? Are they going to charge you if you change transaction? All little things you need to sort of be aware of. There might be some unexpected costs if you do pull out from one and go for the other one. But yeah, only you can answer that one, Hunter. If the property's right for you, then switch back. It's always best to make the right decision now rather than spend more money, exchange complete, and then sit there thinking, oh crap, I've done the wrong thing. So take a day or so if you can afford to, and if the agent will let you, before making a decision, and just find out if that one's right for you. Which one do you prefer? Bethany's back. Oh, mine's fine. He's a pain in the arse for being a twat before I arrived. Yeah, us guys, I mean, I was in a bit of a pickle 2007, 2008 when the financial crisis hit. Wages kind of dropped a hell of a lot, and my lifestyle, I didn't want to compromise my lifestyle, and I got in a bit of a pickle. I'm not ashamed to admit it. My dad will probably tell you anyway. So I was in a pickle. I had a few sort of a few bills coming through, which some months were difficult to pay. But you grow up, you get mature, don't you? You grow up, and I think meeting somebody, maybe like you, Bethany, you might put them on the straight and narrow. That's what us guys need sometimes. We need a good woman to get us going in the right path. And buying a house is a great reason to sort your life out and get things done. So yeah, you should take some credit that you're probably going to sort him out. We've had to give up the idea of getting a 4/5 bedroom house as we do want kids together. So I was thinking of getting a 3-bedroom with the idea to build up to the loft, make it a 5-bed house. Yeah, I mean, that's what we're thinking of doing. We've got a 3-bedroom house. We've got 3 kids between us. And if we want any more, then we're going to need to at least go into a loft and do a bedroom with an ensuite. We're really happy with the house that we've got now. It's in a fantastic area, great schools. We're 300 yards from the seafront. And also, if we wanted to buy a 4-bedroom house where we live, yeah, it wouldn't work. We wouldn't be able to afford it. We'd be sort of on part-time wage because we've got children. The affordability there, unless I start earning a hell of a lot more money, or my partner Rebecca does, then yeah, it's going to be difficult for us to buy that bigger detached house. But we're in a 3-bedroom semi. We can go in the loft. We could probably extend out if we wanted more living accommodation as well. So, but no, I think that's a sensible idea. You can always build up to that. You can always build up to your 4 or 5-bed house. You can, yeah, start off what you need right now. And if what you need right now is a 2-3-bedroom house that you can start paying your mortgage on, building up your equity, and you can alter or adapt, then that's what I would do. That's what we've done. Yeah, an estate agent has said, if you're happy with a house, you can always go up. You can go out with permitted development, 4 meters, single story without planning permission. So you can do stuff to houses without necessarily getting planning permission all the time. So you're welcome, Hunter. Keep me posted. Let me know how you're getting on. Again, a lot of people may have been or may be in the same situation as you, and you asking the question can certainly help other people when we answer it together. And yeah, this is what this community is about. I want to make it as, I want us all to sort of help each other. I help you and then help somebody else and all that sort of stuff. So that's what we're trying to do with this channel. Bethany's trying to sort her man out. Well done, Bethany. Well done. Keep us posted on that as well. Or just take his wallet away from him. See if don't do that. Don't do that. That's very degrading. Very degrading. But no, if you've both got a common goal, you've both got that drive and that motivation to buy your own product, and there's nothing like it. There's nothing like getting your keys on your first day. Everything's a mess. Sitting on the front room floor with your fish and chips on the paper, just eating that, looking around, thinking, "Bloody hell, what have we done?" But it'll be the best decision of your life. It really will be, until you have your kids. That is. So yeah, but no, definitely. I'm sure he'll get his head down and get that done with you. I'm sure he will. And you're buying in Wickford, so you're not too far away from me then. Got quite a bit of an Essex community today. I mean, Wickford's expensive, and that's expensive. You're talking, that's proper commuter belt sort of town there, isn't it? Straight into Liverpool Street. Are you finding a lot more Londoners moving to your neck of the woods, Bethany? So hang on. This is funny. Nah, he wants a house and start baby making. I want a wedding. You're a traditional girl then, eh? So me and my partner, we've done things all arse about face. I've got 2 kids from a previous relationship, and we got together a few years ago, and we bought the house first. We've had the baby, and I'm getting nagged for the wedding. And yeah, I think there might be a common theme with the female population at the moment. You girls want to do things right, then you're traditional. Us guys are more materialistic. Want the house, then the baby. Weddings can wait. It's just a day. It's just a big party, isn't it? It's just a party. I don't mean that. My other half, I think, watches these, so I don't want to get in trouble. Izzy G, damn right. Is that a dinghy on your profile picture there? Lost you there. Yeah, so if you haven't liked the video, probably the 10th time I've said this evening, then please give us a like, give us a thumbs up, a subscribe, a press the bell. Hitting 10 people right now, so we should have at least 10 likes. I think we had 12 last time I looked. Except for Butchers. We're still at 12. So Lizzie, you need to like the video. Bethany, she's back. I told him I'm not having kids before I marry, so he wants another kid. Bribery. I think you women hold the cards there, don't you? So if he wants the kids, you've got to get married first. Yeah. I mean, I feel sorry for you. You have to blackmail him to get to marry her. I mean that in the nicest possible way. So I've got some few questions coming in from some newbies. Anna B, welcome to the channel. Like it, please. Hi Lee, we're buying a house. We found out that the restricted covenants are unknown. The owners have agreed to take out an indemnity policy, which is great. I was, however, wondering how it's impacted property. Not a lot, to be honest with you, Anna. If the owner is willing to take an indemnity policy out and that covers you, and your lender and solicitor are satisfied that that indemnity policy covers or gives you enough cover for the eventuality of somebody invoking that covenant, then you should be okay. If your lender or solicitor says, I'm not happy with that insurance policy, because that's all they are, indemnities, then walk away or see if your solicitor can find one that would be acceptable. But generally, no. There's so many covenants. If it's an older property as well, there's silly covenants, like you can't park a caravan in your front garden, you can't have chickens in your back garden, you can't use your property as a work from home, which is just crazy in these sorts of times. So these insurance companies, these insurance policies will cover you if the person who wrote that initial covenant all those years ago decide to come out of the woodwork and say, no, you can't do that. you've got to pay me some money. That insurance policy will pay out and cover any losses, but your solicitor will help with that. And if your solicitor is happy with it and your lender's happy with it, then the chances are the buyer for your property in however many years' time, they should be happy as well. So don't let that put you off. But it'd be interesting to know how old your property is that you're buying, Anna. If it's a really old property, and the chances are that those covenants, the person who wrote that or the company that wrote that, either dissolved or dead and buried, and the next of kin don't even know what that covenant is or even know how to enforce it. So Lizzie G has liked. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Lizzie J. I think you shared my story, didn't you, to all of your people. So thank you very much for that. Thank you very much. Anna B, do you think you might scare other people? And if we have to do a similar thing as our recent sellers to find those private? Yeah, so you would have to, well, I'd be surprised if when you sold the property, the buyer of your properties didn't ask for you to provide that indemnity policy. And we're not talking thousands of pounds, these policies. They range from £20 for missing certificates up to £300, £400, sometimes £500, depending on the level of cover required. Sometimes the seller will say no to having that indemnity. So if they do say no, you've got the choice whether you pay for it or you walk away. But yeah, generally, if there's an issue with the property being sold with covenants, the seller would pay for the indemnity to protect the buyer, because without it, the buyer can't buy it. And I don't feel like the buyer should pay for that. If the seller paid for it when you bought it, then you, as a seller next time, should probably do the same purchase thing and buy it for the next buyer. It's only going to help you at the end of the day as well, sell the property. So I don't think it'll scare people off as long as you provide that indemnity when you do sell. Bethany, no, he's been asking for the past year, but I'm about to finish shooting, so it'd be too stressful to do it all right now. I just don't know if it'd be better to do house or marriage first. How big's the wedding going to be? I mean, right, if you're renting right now, I'm guessing that your mortgage would be cheaper than your rent, unless you're going for a bigger property. So you could argue if you buy the house first, then you might have more money free to then pay for the wedding. But if your rent is cheaper now, then you might want to get married first. But anyway, this isn't relationship counselling. Bethany, come on, I'm an estate agent. I don't know about this stuff. But yeah, thanks for your insight. Thank you for your answer. The property is a terrace house around 1967. Strange that the covenants are unknown then. Normally on the deeds, there'll be like a list of covenants. So to have covenant unknown seems strange, but 1967, nearly 60 or over 60 years or 60 years from that. So yeah, it's going to be, chances are it's not going to be enforceable. The person that built the property has probably got no interest in that block anymore. So I'd be very surprised if it was anything that would put people off. Kevin Everett, can a disgruntled neighbour invoke a covenant? Does the requirements of a covenant transfer from one owner to another? Yeah, the covenant's with the property, not with the owner, Dad. So I'm not sure if he will let me tell people, but the last live I told a little story about how my dad's neighbour decided to add something to my dad's fence, but on the neighbour's side. And my dad kindly asked him to take it off, and I don't think he was very receptive at first, but I hear he's apologised now, Dad. So maybe he's not disgruntled, but you can't invoke the covenant. You have to find the person that puts in the covenant, and then they will enact it and enforce it if they want to, that is. But I'm sure the builder of your house does not give a shit right now, Dad. Should be lodged with Andrew. It will be on there, 'cause it's on the deeds. The covenant's on the deeds, that will be on land registry. Right. Definitely, max 15k. We both have massive families, but I heard a rumour that if you're married, you're more likely to get approved for a mortgage. I don't know. I don't know if you're married, you're more likely to get approved for a mortgage. I mean, I'm a tight ass, so if it meant me getting a better mortgage rate or something like that, then I would have married her ages ago. But yeah, I haven't heard. It's easy to get a mortgage if you've got no kids, because the mortgage companies take off an amount per child. So if you used to do a mortgage calculator and say you had no dependents, and then you get, I don't know, £250,000, and you put in one dependent, they might bring it down to £230,000, two dependents, 220. So it's definitely cheaper to buy a property, or you get more flexibility with how much they'll lend you if you have no children. But I don't think I'm wrong on this, but I don't think being married to most lenders actually means anything anyway. And let's be honest, 50% of marriages end in divorce, don't they? So yeah. Daniel Flores, thanks for popping in, mate. Please subscribe and like. I'm going to say this to everyone that leaves a question, so get used to it. What are your views on the current selling market? The past 2 weeks, I've noticed there seems to be a decline in properties coming onto the market and more reductions. Yeah, so what you're probably finding is there's not many new houses coming onto the market, and if they are, they're going quickly or fighting over it. And then what's left on the market is the rubbish, the overpriced stuff. So what an agent should be doing is getting on the phone to those owners and saying, look, you've been on the market 5, 6, 7 weeks. The market's fantastic. The reason you're not selling isn't because we're not doing our job properly, because we've sold X amount of other houses. It's because your price is too high, and buyers know that. And a good agent can put that in a way, I mean, I say it pretty much like that. That's probably why I piss off a few people at work. But yeah, agents should be doing that. If there's no new stock coming onto the market, agents need to be getting reductions for the houses that are on the market and not shifting. If they're not doing that, then it might be worth viewing a couple of places that have been on the market for 5, 6 weeks that haven't sold, and then trying a cheeky offer. They're the ones that are going to be primed for potentially getting money off. So ones that might be just a little bit out of your price bracket that have been on the market 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks, they might be the ones, Daniel, to target and to try and get a few quid off. And I know if I've had an offer come in on a house that's been on the market for a little while in this market, I'll be really telling my seller to really consider it, because if they're not selling now in one of the most busiest markets that I know, and my boss who's done it 30 odd years can remember, if you're not selling now, then you're too much money. And it's as simple as that. And agents should be saying that to their sellers. So Daniel, yeah, view some properties which are a little bit higher, that have been on the market a little while, if there is any, and try and get a few quid off. That'd be my advice there. Other question: do you think the market is showing signs of reacting to the approaches? No. The stamp duty holiday has been designed to get people on the market, and there's still nothing on the market. It's been like this since February. The amount of properties coming on the market has just been rubbish, even though they extended it for up to 250,000 until the end of September. There's still not that steady flow of new houses coming onto the market, and until there is, then prices are going to continue to keep going up, or at least not coming down, which I know what a lot of you want. Hope that helps, by the way. Hope that helps. Anna B, I was wondering if my future neighbour might have restricted covenants on their property, and if they'd be similar on mine. Just thinking of getting an idea of. Yeah, I mean, if it's the same style building, it was built at the same time, Anna, then yeah, chances are they would have the same covenants. Quite why they don't have anything different on their title compared to yours, so they might have unknown on theirs as well. But worth maybe knocking on the door and asking, introducing yourself. Hi, neighbour. Might be worth having a chat. Or you can go on the Land Registry website, pay £3, and you can look at yourself without even having to knock on the door. You can look at the title and see the covenants on there. So definitely hard. So get rid of kids. I'm not getting involved in that, Bethany. I'm not getting involved in that. I've got 2 kids from a previous, and if my other half said that, she'd be gone. But she would, and I'm sure you don't mean it. Right, guys, I'm going to make a move now. So thank you so much for watching. It's been a pleasure helping you. Hang on, Bethany's back. Give me a 50% time. There's no main favourite side. We'll have to declare. That's interesting, because I have my kids nearly 50%, but I have to give a lot of money to their mum, so I might have to look into that. You would have to put that he has 2 dependents. If you don't put that, you're committing mortgage fraud. So yeah, that's the law. You've got to tell if there are kids involved, because even though there's no maintenance to pay, there is money for maybe childcare costs, feeding them, clothing them, clubs, all those sorts of things, and they will take that into consideration when they're deciding how much to lend you and your partner. Yeah, us dads with kids come with a bit of a baggage, don't we? There's a lot of small print, which you lovely ladies don't know until you go to buy a house and stuff like that. So, but well done. I sorted out the clause. Yeah, we didn't go to court. I just went on the government website and that told me what I needed to pay. So I just pay whatever they say. Anyway, Bethany, thank you so much to everyone that has joined me tonight. I've really enjoyed it. The hour and 6 minutes has flown past, as it always does. Any other questions, you can always email me, Lee Everett at leeeverettpropertyadvice.co.uk and altnows.com, and I'll email you back. I'm off for 4 days now, so there's probably going to be no videos or anything like that, but I'll hope to do another live stream next Wednesday at 8:30. I'm going to try and make it a regular thing. Thank you again for watching. Please press that like button, subscribe if you haven't, and I will see you hopefully next week. So have a nice evening, guys, and a great weekend. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.